Imagine a family whose influence stretches from the gold-leafed ceilings of royal palaces to the shimmering boardrooms of multinational corporations. A dynasty so deeply woven into the fabric of a nation that its presence is felt not just at ceremonial state events, but in the subtle ticks of the stock market, the roar of football stadiums, and even in the way people use their mobile data. This is not fiction. This is the House of Johor, the richest family in Malaysia, and arguably one of the most business-savvy royal houses in the world. Think royalty is all parades and portraits. Think again. The Johor royals have redrawn the map of what it means to be a monarch in the 21st century. They haven't just survived the changing tides of history. They've surfed them with style, strategy, and staggering wealth. This isn't your dusty, ceremonial monarchy with velvet robes and aging traditions. This is a dynasty with a vision. One that runs on Wi-Fi, fuels private jets, and hires elite consultants for digital strategies. Their story is a cinematic blend of the crown, billions, and a luxury travel magazine, with a splash of high-tech entrepreneurship and a lot of power moves. This is old money, yes, but more importantly, it's strategic money. Money that moves, money that multiplies. Let's rewind the royal reel for a moment. The Johor royal lineage stretches back to the 19th century, rooted in the mighty Temenggung dynasty and solidified under the rule of Sultan Abu Bakar, known as the father of modern Johor. This wasn't a passive monarchy clinging to colonial legacies. Johor's royal house was always ahead of its time, engaging with foreign powers, modernizing administration, and building infrastructure long before it became fashionable. But fast forward to today, and you'll see something almost unprecedented. A royal family that has reinvented itself, not just for cultural preservation or ceremonial relevance, but for real, unstoppable success. Financial success, political leverage, pop culture relevance. A seat not just at the table of state affairs, but also at the helm of billion-dollar ventures. When the rest of the world was still wondering whether royalty and capitalism could mix, the Johor royals were already merging tradition with innovation. While many royal families around the globe downsized their assets and retreated into symbolism, Johor's sultans doubled down. They diversified, they acquired, they built empires. From luxury hotels and prime real estate to stakes in fast-growing tech companies and major sports franchises, the House of Johor has cracked the code on how to turn royal influence into entrepreneurial gold. It's not just about land anymore, it's about leverage. Their portfolio is as varied as it is vast, including everything from banking and oil to esports and aviation, and they're not shy about it. Whether it's a Lamborghini convoy cruising down the streets of Johor Bahru or an Instagram post that goes viral within minutes, the House of Johor knows the art of visibility and they know how to turn attention into influence. So what happens when royalty meets ruthless business acumen? When did centuries of inherited power collide with the speed and scale of the modern economy? You get a family that's rewriting the rulebook. You get a monarchy that's not just surviving in the age of capitalism, but thriving like a blue-chip stock. Welcome to the House of Johor, where tradition wears a Rolex, strategy wears a crown, and every move is a masterclass in modern monarchy. At the heart of this modern royal machine is Sultan Ibrahim Ismail, the current monarch of Johor, and the living embodiment of tradition meeting turbocharged capitalism. Picture this. A man who can command a military parade in full regalia one day, exuding centuries of Malay royal pride, and then pivot the next day into a sleek suit to sign off on a multi-million-dollar cross-border investment. This isn't a monarch content with ceremonial appearances or the occasional ribbon cutting. No, Sultan Ibrahim is a royal who moves with the rhythm of modern power. He's not your typical palace-bound sovereign wrapped in layers of protocol. You're more likely to catch a glimpse of him behind the controls of his private Boeing 737. Yes, you read that right. A fully customized aircraft, complete with a gold-stitched throne-like seat, a luxurious business suite, and state-of-the-art communications gear. This is not just transportation, it's a flying command center, a mobile palace in the sky. After all, when you're at the helm of a sprawling royal enterprise that spans from oil and gas to luxury real estate, economy class just doesn't quite fit the brand. And what an empire it is. Let's talk numbers. Not the ceremonial titles or the official allowances that make their way into public reports, but the real economic footprint. Sultan Ibrahim is not only a ruler, he's a strategic investor with an appetite for high-value assets. The Johor royal family reportedly has stakes in everything from major Malaysian banks and telecommunications to international resorts, industrial zones, and private healthcare facilities. Their portfolio is both wide and deep, stretching across domestic and international borders. Take, for instance, the family's influence over Johor Corporation, one of the state's most important economic engines. While technically a government-linked company, insiders know that royal influence plays a significant role in shaping its ventures. The Johor royal family's wealth is conservatively estimated to exceed $5 billion, and that's just what's public. Their financial portfolio reads like a Wall Street fantasy. From banking to telecommunications, mining to luxury hotels, real estate to oil and gas, they're everywhere. They don't just inherit wealth, they multiply it. Take U-Mobile, for instance, one of Malaysia's leading telecom companies. Sultan Ibrahim owns a substantial stake in it. While other monarchs prefer to stay symbolic, the Sultan doesn't shy away from diving into boardroom dynamics. He's also a key figure behind the jaw-dropping Forest City project, an ambitious $100 billion smart city built on reclaimed land in Johor Bahru. Think Dubai meets Silicon Valley, but with mangroves and Chinese capital. Forest City was pitched as the future of eco-urban living, and while the project had its ups and downs, the royal fingerprints were all over it. Now, if you think the Sultan is the lone star in this economic constellation, think again. Meet his son, Tunku Ismail Sultan Ibrahim, popularly known as TMJ, Tunku Mahkota Johor. He's not just the heir apparent, he's a brand, a businessman, a sports mogul, and yes, a social media icon. With over 1 million followers, his Instagram is a curated highlight reel of horses, helicopters, sports cars, and international summits. And yet, behind the luxury is a laser-focused leader shaping the family's next-generation legacy. One of TMJ's greatest accomplishments, resurrecting the Johor Darul Ta'zim Football Club, or JDT. Years ago, JDT was just another struggling team in Malaysia's football circuit. Today, it's a regional giant with an international fan base, a world-class stadium, European-level facilities, and enough silverware to fill a royal vault. But TMJ didn't just build a football club. He built a brand, turning JDT into a self-sustaining business model powered by sponsorships, merchandising, media rights, and a fiercely loyal fan base. It's Manchester United with royal backing and way better weather. So what's their secret sauce? It's not just about money, it's about relevance. The Johor royals know how to play the long game. They're masters of political diplomacy, economic foresight, and brand building. They attend business forums in Qatar, investment summits in Dubai, and philanthropy galas in Europe, all while maintaining the mystique of monarchy. When the Sultan travels, it's not just a courtesy visit, it's a strategic move. Deals get signed, relationships get built, and investments flow in both directions. In fact, their ties to the Middle East are particularly strong. The Johor royals are regular guests at Gulf palaces and have partnered with investors from Saudi Arabia and the UAE in real estate and energy projects. There's even speculation of joint ventures involving renewable energy and luxury tourism. Because let's be honest, what better way to sell an eco-resort than to have royalty endorse it? And while the men dominate headlines, the women of the Johor Palace are equally remarkable. Queen Zarth Sophia, Sultan Ibrahim's wife, is a scholar, philanthropist, and an advocate for culture and education. An Oxford graduate, she's penned books, led humanitarian causes, and maintained a regal image that's admired far beyond Malaysia's borders. She's the silent strategist behind the family's softer power, focusing on public goodwill, community initiatives, and international relations. Think of her as the monarchy's chief of diplomacy, with a royal wardrobe to match. Together, this family isn't just ruling, they're innovating. The Johor royals have embraced digital transformation in ways few monarchies have. TMJ is active on X, formerly Twitter, where he interacts with fans and critics alike. The royal house has an official media team, a sleek website, and even digital PR campaigns that rival major corporations. Their use of tech and media isn't just about image. It's a way to engage the public, promote transparency, and build a modern royal brand in a country where monarchy still matters deeply. But they've also faced criticism. Like all powerful families, the Johor royals have had their controversies. Questions about land ownership, foreign investments, and political influence have surfaced over the years. But the family has largely weathered these storms with a mix of legal savvy and public charm. They know how to pivot, explain, and when needed, withdraw gracefully. That's not just good PR, that's survival instinct. What makes the Johor family especially unique is how they've redefined monarchy in the Southeast Asian context. While other royal houses have become ceremonial relics, Johor's is one of the few that has grown more powerful in the modern era. They've managed to stay culturally relevant, politically connected, and most impressively, financially independent. That independence is key. The Johor royals don't rely solely on state allocations or public funds. Their business interests provide a buffer that allows them to act with autonomy. That's a rare privilege in the age of constitutional monarchies, and one they don't take for granted. And it's not just Malaysia. Their reach has quietly expanded into Singapore, where royal investments touch everything from residential real estate to tech startups. In London, whispers of Johor-owned property circles among high-end brokers. In Dubai, the family is known for their diplomatic presence and more than one luxury penthouse. Their private lifestyle, just as fascinating. Think royal convoys with Rolls-Royces, private islands, and jewelry collections that would make European royals jealous. But what stands out most is how strategic their lifestyle choices are. Every appearance, every vehicle, every speech, it's all part of a broader branding effort. Nothing is accidental, because at the end of the day, this isn't just about thrones and tiaras. This is about vision. The Johor royal family understands something many traditional institutions still struggle with. In today's fast-paced, hyper-connected world, relevance is more valuable than reverence. Gone are the days when a crown alone commanded absolute loyalty. In the 21st century, it's not just about who you are, it's about what you do with who you are. Influence has become the new currency, and few know how to spend it better than the House of Johor. From social media engagement to billion-dollar boardrooms, they've mastered the art of staying not just in the headlines, but ahead of them. This isn't accidental, it's strategic. The Johor royals have a keen understanding of optics, branding, and cultural capital. They know how to speak the language of the people while making moves in the language of power. Real power today doesn't come from a throne. It comes from adaptability, from seeing where the world is going and getting there first. The Johor family invests in the future, not just in financial terms, but in cultural and technological relevance. They've embraced digital platforms, courted youth demographics, and taken calculated risks in emerging industries. They've turned royal symbolism into a luxury brand, and they've done it with sharp instincts and impeccable timing. But perhaps most impressively, they inspire. Not through ancient rituals or rigid tradition, but through their vision of what modern royalty can be. Dynamic, driven, and deeply involved in the nation's growth. The House of Johor is not clinging to the past, they're shaping the future. And in a world that moves at the speed of innovation, that is where real power lies. They're not waiting for the history books to remember them, because they're writing the chapters themselves, not with pens, but with stock portfolios, digital signatures, global partnerships, and billion-dollar blueprints. From Kuala Lumpur to London, from Dubai to Singapore, their influence isn't just felt in royal courts, it's reflected in stock tickers, echoed in corporate boardrooms, and streamed live on royal Instagram stories from private jets at 30,000 feet. The House of Johor isn't just royalty. They're brand architects, business moguls, tech investors, and diplomatic power players. They're building smart cities while sipping hand-brewed coffee in business-class lounges. They're redefining what it means to rule, not just over land, but over markets, trends, and emerging technologies. Their empire stretches beyond ceremonial functions and glittering tiaras. We're talking equity in telecommunications, stakes in luxury fashion, investments in AI startups, green tech, blockchain projects, and yes, even sports teams that dominate global headlines. So next time you hear about Malaysia's wealthiest family, don't just picture marble palaces with golden domes. Picture digital dashboards lighting up with investments, international real estate portfolios expanding, and future-shaping decisions made between royal engagements. Because the Johor royals aren't just wearing crowns, they're wearing vision. They're building a new kind of dynasty, one that thrives not only on tradition,
but on transformation. A legacy measured not only in titles, but in technology, power, and global relevance. They are more than a monarchy. They are an empire with momentum, and they're only getting started, so roll the credits. But don't close the book. This royal chapter is still unfolding, written not just in ink, but in gold. On a world stage that's watching,